Well, it's 8 o'clock hour. Time to talk to Sonia at Bryant Insurance about some back-to-school stuff. Not so much about the high school kids. I think you moms and dads got that covered. Talk about the college kids taking off to go to college, going to a new town, new city, possibly going to a new situation that they've never been in before.
Yeah, and if anybody sees me around town and I look a little sad, it's because our son, who's been going to college here in Graham the last 2 years, is moving to the University of North Texas this week to start school there. And that just got me thinking, what does he need? What does he need to know about insurance? Because we think that our kids understand some of this stuff, and they don't all the time. The first thing that comes to my mind is car insurance, because the typical college student is still insured on his parents' auto policy. And more than likely, and again, this all depends on the type of policy that the parents have, more than likely they'll be able to stay on that policy as long as the vehicles are in the parent's name and the student is still a dependent on, with the parents. But one thing that is becoming really, really popular, and it's especially popular in college towns, is the Uber and the other rideshare type of services. And kids go off to college and they think, well, I can make some extra money doing this, and they may not even think to tell their parents that they're going to do that. And it's really important for you to tell your kids when they're going off to college that if they use their vehicle to carry a passenger for a fee, which would include the Uber situation, your personal auto policy is not going to cover that. So it sounds silly, but it happens, and it's happening more and more. So that's something that you need to make sure your student goes off to college understands, that they can't use that vehicle for that purpose.
Another thing the kids don't think about, or maybe coming from a smaller town anywhere around the Lake Country area, you got your computers, you've got your high-ticket items that you're moving into your dorm. You go lay it down, you go back out to your car to get something, you're moving in, you come back, and it could possibly be gone. Having the contents of your stuff covered before you head out.
Right. Now, depending on the homeowner's policy of the parents, there could possibly be some coverage for a dorm or a apartment. But the safest thing to do is for you to buy renter's insurance for your students. That can be if they're going to live in a dorm or if they're going to live in an apartment. If they're going to live in an apartment, the complex is probably going to require them to have that. And that will ensure the contents, that the things that they are taking into that apartment, as well as liability if something happens, somebody gets hurt in the apartment, that kind of thing. And it's important to talk to your agent about some things that you might be able to schedule on your policy, which instead of just saying I have such and such amount of contents, there are some items that it's best to have scheduled. Some examples are computers, firearms, jewelry, that kind of thing. So just talk to your agent about those things and make sure that you know what kind of coverage you have before something happens.
What about medical type insurances, or something like if kids off in college and they fall down some stairs and break a leg, or something happens to them that they can get to a hospital and get treated and not have to worry about calling mom and dad until they can get some help.
I think the best advice I could give you on that is to make sure that your student understands what kind of health insurance that they have. Some people may be still carrying their children's cards around in their wallet. You need to make sure that your student has that with them before they leave for college, so that if they do have to have emergency assistance, that they'll have that proof of insurance. And also some universities, of course, offer that type of thing on campus at a reduced rate, or sometimes it's even included for minor, sore throats, that kind of stuff. So just find out, make sure that everybody understands what kind of coverage they have, what they're supposed to do if they get sick, so that they don't end up with a bill that you can't pay.
Now, something I know that Bryant Insurance does, and I think it's a great idea for kids to and their parents to get involved with before you send your kids off to college, is getting some kind of identity insurance, identity theft type of insurance situation. Because, you're going into a situation, the kids they might be sitting around a restaurant, or might be sitting around a coffee shop or something like that, and someone's stealing their information. They don't even realize it because, they've never had to deal with a situation like that.
Yeah, that is so, it's just becoming so common, and it's infuriating that we have to protect ourselves against this stuff. But you could have some coverage on your homeowner's policy. You could also purchase some separate coverage, and just again, make sure that you understand, that you talk about it, that you have that protection, or at least you understand what you have, so that there's no surprises. And all of these things that we're talking about, Rick, nothing can substitute preventing accidents, preventing data security theft. So, make sure, and you brought up something a while ago that's so true. Our kids are coming from a small town, and many of them are going to live in a city that they don't know anything about. And maybe they're not used to noticing things around them to be safe. So that's something, I know they'll roll their eyes, but to talk to our students before they go off to college and talk about some of the things that can happen and what they might could do to prevent them from happening.
Just sitting your kids down, talking to them about some of the needs and things like that. Now, if you're a parent and you're not exactly sure, what you need to send your child off to school to be covered in the right way, they need to give you guys a call.
Yes. I can't say it enough. I know I say it every week. Don't wait until something bad happens to find out what kind of insurance you have. Find out before it happens so that you can adequately protect yourself and that you're not surprised if you have something that happens. And we would be glad to sit down and talk with you about your current insurance program, what your students might need. And so, yes, we would love for you to do that.
So give Bryan Insurance a call today. You look them up on the web at Bryan. Give them your website, your phone numbers.
It's www.bryanins.com, or you can call us at 940-549-2525, or you can come see us on the second floor of the Sierra Bank building.
Give them a call today. That way you'll know exactly what kind of coverage you need to send your kids off to school. That's Sonia from Bryan Insurance Agency. We have more to come. Stay tuned here on Your Lincoln Leader.